Today's topic really is not going to sound like writing advice. I know some of my other ones don't sound like writing advice. This one really is not going to sound like writing advice, but I hope that you stick around and see what the tie-in is going to be, because this topic came out of last week's video. As I was thinking about it more, I'm not really sure where it came from, but I was thinking about the idea of acting like the job that you currently have is your dream job and all the benefits that come from that, and how it's such a part of your evolution. Wherever you are is such an important part of your evolution. So now I'm going to go off the rails a little bit because it's not going to sound related. But it is. So I started thinking about just what it's like to interact with other humans, whether it's in person or online, and just sort of the common experiences that that are common now, common experiences of animosity towards each other, all the hate online, all the hate when you interact with people, and when you go out in public. And hate could be an extreme word, but just so much disconnectedness from connecting as human beings and just people, and the common courtesy that can come along with, like, hey, we're just people out in the world interacting, or hey, we're just people out in the internet interacting, like where but instead of that common decency, it seems to be just so commonly replaced with, for lack of a better word, and just to take it to the extremes, with so much hate, and so much at, trying to knock anyone down at anyone who has more success than someone else, someone who is successful and maybe slips up, and how the internet jumps on them. And I'm thinking about the internet right now when I'm talking, and just I was trying to think of an example, and then I just thought it was so sad that there are so many examples of this every day. I didn't want to name one because I didn't want to give it that much more power than it already has, but just the ideas of the culture of attacking other people, and the culture of just waiting for someone to slip up, because then you can say, haha, they thought they were cool or great or successful and they did this or that, or even if there is no slip up, just knocking people down who are successful. And so I think to start there, I think where a lot of that comes from has to do, I'm really saying, for lack of a better word, a lot in this video, because I feel like the words I'm choosing are very extreme, but I kind of need that to communicate my point. So I think there's a lot of jealousy, because if you have access to the internet and you can publish yourself on a blog, on YouTube, if you can produce a podcast, by that I mean that you can in some way because you have access to that. The playing field has been very leveled, with just how much people who are in those well-off positions, if they have the internet, if they have a computer, if they live in a country that allows them access to those things, how much the playing field has been leveled. So if someone who's just like them has success, there can be a lot of jealousy and wanting to knock them down. But the truth is that person who has success put in the work in some way. And I don't need to get into all the other, personal and political factors that are involved there. But so it's like, it's so easy for people to be prone to hate each other, because the people who they see doing the things that they want to do and having some success really are just like them in a lot of ways. And it's really hard to see someone else kind of in the spotlight, or pursuing or having the type of career that another person might want to have. And it's just so easy to go into feelings of bitterness and resentment, and instead of focusing on what you can do to help yourself achieve your own goals. If you don't have that attitude and if you don't have that mindset, you're going to be focused on knocking someone else down or criticizing someone else because you're not happy with your own choices. So, so all of that is a thing. At the same time, I think with all of that kind of negativity and hey, I also feel like simultaneously there is this desire for world peace among the same people who hate each other. And then among the same people who want to knock each other down, there's this aim of wanting peace in our political policies, wanting peace from our leaders around the world. And I'm not getting political right now. I'm just saying, like, I feel like people would be in agreement, like, wow, it'd be nice if there was more peace in the world. But that's on a huge level, and we're not. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope you say, no, everyone's getting along. But what I was saying was we're not doing that on a micro level. We're not doing that on an individual level. And I hope you see something different when you go out into the world. And I hope you see something different when you're on the internet. But there are these, I don't want to be blind to it. There are these common themes of people just being so rude to each other and so not respectful of each other. And for me, I think it just really comes down to respect, and why this is even a topic that I'm bringing up, because respect is something that is important to me. And so we have all this micro behavior that is saying we hate each other and we're not going to be nice to each other. And then on the macro level, we're still hoping for this this world peace, this this more relaxed environment where people get along better. So how can the two simultaneously exist? And I think they do, because it brings me back to the topic in last week's video. And I think it comes from an attitude of when, on the individual level, when I'm successful, then I'll be nice to people. Then I'll be courteous. Then I'll be respectful. Because once I know I have mine, then I'll start acting that way. And I think that's why people could feel like it's all right to be disrespectful and rude, but still on a bigger level hope for peace throughout humanity, throughout the world. Because they think it takes their own success, it takes their own needs to being met, and then they'll start acting like that ideal way. And the point of this video is saying you never have to wait to start being the person that you want to be. And yeah, again, related to last week's video, it was don't wait until you have your dream job to start acting like you have your dream job. Take a step back and look at where you are now and how much more you could be learning from your current circumstances that will push you forward into the next best opportunity for you. So if we want peace on a global, bigger level, we have to start acting now on that way on a micro level. We don't wait until we're taken care of to start being nice, to start being the generous people that we want to be, to start being the respectful people that we want to be, to start being the kind people that we want to be. We don't wait until we get what we think we want until we get what we want. Let's just say they're the same thing. To start acting that way, you have to start acting that way first, and not putting it off until another day. You only get those opportunities down the road if you take the steps starting from where you are. So yes, it does not sound like a writing tip, but I do think it is an extension of last week's video of how you can apply it to your own creative career. You don't wait until the ideal opportunity that is in your head comes along to start acting the way that you want to be. If you're a writer, start writing today and do the writing, do the work, practice working hard, practice doing good work, practice editing. All of that is what's going to lead you to the next best opportunity. And so that macro vision of your career, or that macro vision of world peace, becomes more of a reality. It only happens when we start on the micro level. So little off the rails today, but of course all my videos are so related, so this sets up for future weeks. And if you'd like to join me and you are not already subscribed to the channel, click the red subscribe button below the video. Make sure to tap the notification bell as well, because I publish on Wednesdays and you will get a little note informing you that I have a new video ready. And if you like this topic, if you don't think it's too far off from what I should be talking about, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, because then I know that I've gotten off track and to get back to more directly writing related topics, because I like doing that too. But whenever I set out to do just writing topics, like specific writing and editing topics for a creative project like this channel, it always feels a little limiting, and because I just have like a more holistic approach to how I like to approach my teaching. And so these videos feel important to me for the bigger perspective. But if you don't like them, thumbs down it. I have to do that in the picture. Thumbs down it, and I'll start doing more of what you want to do. So thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. Bye.